Welcome to Think Again. I'm your host, Justin Trottier. In a world where so many people turn to junk science, pseudoscience, religious leaders, and the divine, it's no wonder that the answers to our questions can often fall short of the truth. Now free thinkers can have their say. Think Again is the first ever TV program to examine current affairs from an atheist perspective and a skeptical point of view. Each episode will investigate a controversial issue that is at the forefront of our society and get down to its core. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on this earth? These were the words displayed on a London bus advertisement that ran nearly a year ago. The advert, most likely meant to inspire those who read it, did just that, sparking an international initiative now known as the Atheist Bus Campaign. It was London-based writer Ariane Shireen who started it all. With her visit to JesusSaid.org, the website behind the bus ad, Shireen was informed that as a non-believer, she would be, quote, condemned to everlasting separation from God and then spend all eternity in torment in hell. This offensive claim prompted Shireen to write an op-ed for The Guardian's website, protesting the bus ad. Her article went on to propose that, if all atheists reading this contribute £5, it's possible we can fund a much-needed atheist London bus ad with the slogan, "There's probably no God, now stop worrying and enjoy your life." With the power of the internet, freethinkers united in their support for the idea. Dozens contributed to the campaign, including political blogger John Worth, who set up a pledge bank page. Despite lack of publicity, in a matter of only 6 weeks, 877 people signed up to pledge. Realizing the potential of the movement, Shireen and Worth partnered up, and on October 21, 2008, relaunched their idea with a new proactive campaign. Their fundraising goal of £5,500 was quickly exceeded in just a few short hours and ultimately reached more than £135,000. The campaign also extended itself beyond the 30 buses it had originally hoped for, receiving enough donations for 800 buses to spread the slogan in cities all across the UK. Huge backing followed from the likes of the British Humanist Association and prominent author of The God Delusion, Richard Dawkins. The publicity generated during its month-long run in January of 2009 spawned similar campaigns all around the world. Germany, Finland, the Netherlands, Italy, Spain, the USA, and Switzerland have all come on board the Atheist Bus.
After hearing about the success of the UK campaign, Hamed created a Facebook group to promote the idea and began working with a non-profit organization, the Free Thought Association of Canada, who had also been attempting to start a campaign.
We were just having a meeting one day and kind of figuring out what to do next, and someone had brought a clip of the UK campaign that had been going on, and as kind of a joke I said we should do that, and everyone kind of laughed and then said, well, why not? From 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. almost every day. There was phone calls, there was TV interviews, there was radio interviews. I think the next really big thing I had after the Globe and Mail was Andrew Crystal's show in Halifax. So I went on that, and it was a call-in show, and that's when I started to really get the negative feedback from people. But yeah, after the Globe and Mail, it was everyone wanted a piece of it. In the first week, we had over $10,000 in donations. That was in less than a week. By the end of it all, we had almost $50,000. We held an event to kick off the streetcars and the bus ads in Toronto. We had a streetcar that we had rented with the slogan on the side of it, and on the front of it we had put atheistbus.ca on the top of it. And that streetcar went around Toronto a few times, and people were able to go and sit on it, and we had a bit of a streetcar party.
Despite having success in Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, and Calgary, the Canadian Atheist Bus Campaign did not come without its share of opposition.
Taking on the Almighty hasn't been easy. Ottawa councillors shot down the idea once.
I can say that I don't like them. I've been criticized for saying that, but I think that freedom of speech applies to me just as much as it does to anybody else.
This issue alone has garnered so much public media, it is ridiculous. Why? Because a certain amount of group in the population decided it was funny to put an ad in saying there might not be a God. We should never have offensive ads on public property. Definition of offensive, I find it's offensive. A lot of other people find it offensive. Freedom of speech does not and should not ever be derogative about other people's beliefs. And the ad that we see on the buses right now and the ad that we're discussing today are derogative about possibility of a God. Respect is paramount. I will use my freedom of speech to vote against this motion.
But thanks to Alex Cullen, this was not the end. The Ottawa Councillor and Transit Committee Chairman took on the Ottawa City Committee, hoping to lift the ban on the atheist ad.
The issue that's been raised is that these ads might offend. And it's no little interest to discover that there have been a number of ministers and rabbis who've indicated publicly these ads do not offend them. The fact of the matter is, the Supreme Court has already considered this question and has stated that the key is that people will disagree about important issues, and such disagreement, where it does not imperil community living, must be capable of being accommodated at the core in a modern pluralism. People are free to disagree with our beliefs as they wish. That's the Supreme Court of Canada decision. If we are to live in a free society that can accommodate freedom of belief, we must be tolerant of beliefs that are not ours. That is what the Charter protects. And as the courts have ruled, to pick and choose what beliefs can be protected or promoted is discrimination.
On March 11, 2009, Cullen appealed the ban to the Ottawa City Council. The ban on the atheist ad was finally lifted, winning by a vote of 13-7. But thanks to an unrelated Supreme Court of Canada ruling on violations of free speech, city buses were declared public spaces for an open interaction, forcing Metro Transit officials to revise their ban on the atheist ad. The Free Thought Association of Canada in Halifax is now welcome to run their campaign. Cities across British Columbia repealed their rejection of the atheist's ad as well.
If anything is seen to be going to be potentially, objectionable to any race, creed, or moral standard, we don't necessarily wish to go there.
Free speech is being sort of squelched here because it's even for people who don't necessarily agree with our message, they still want to have a dialogue about it. They're excited to discuss it.
ThinkAgain TV is produced by Centre for Inquiry, Canada's premier venue for secular humanists, atheists, skeptics, and free thinkers.
CFI Canada coordinates branches and campus groups across the country, runs a public education series, provides secular community services, incorporates cutting-edge multimedia such as blogs, podcasts, and YouTube, and is a regular voice in the press presenting a secular humanist, atheist, and skeptical perspective.